All right, everyone, welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, the daily fail, meme review, software releases, hardware releases, and the websites by plebs or plebs. Joining us today is a fellow toxic Bitcoiner and meme lord. Okay, so check this out, right? We've got different meme factions now. Well, we're talking about Bitcoin Jedi 101 from the Triple Elite Memes group. Anyways, he's going to join in a little bit later, but right now, we're going to the numbers. Let's do it, people.
Number time! Sponsored by
Bitcoin 2022. At the time of this recording, the block height is 705,169. The Bitcoin price, 61,370. Chain rewrite days, 845. Total public lightning capacity, 3,079.47. Sats per dollar, aka Moscow time, 1629. And the blocks to the halvening, 134,831. I want to dedicate Bitcoin's price right now to Nassim Taleb, wherever he's sitting. that complete...
Dude,
I want to dedicate it to him. I want to dedicate it to people like Keith, like with his quad 4 crap. Dedicate it to the people like that.
And, dude, don't forget Steve Hanke, the Hanke. You know, the Bitcoin's biggest fan. But, dude, we're only 5% away from all-time high. You guys have experienced this. If you're new to Bitcoin... Hasn't it felt like a freaking war these last couple months of all the emotions that you feel with the ups and downs of the Bitcoin roller coaster? But man, it's all part of the fun. This is awesome, dude. It's another good day in Bitcoin, and it looks like Bitcoin is following its historical pattern of October. Freaking crazy.
And what we haven't had in the past is this amazing lightning capacity. And not only that, but look at this crazy growth. So we're staying up above 3K. I'm excited for the next big lightning sound at 3,500. So
I'm gonna save it. Someone in the comments said you should be picky when you use a lightning sound. So they agreed with you, Phil. They agreed with you.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna be picky when I use it. We're gonna stick gonna stick to the 500 BTC increments. Yeah, man.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
Mm-hmm.
That's from an 80s song.
Guys, if you've been in Bitcoin this entire year, Bitcoin becoming legal tender, the Elon FUD, the China ban, hash rate recovery on its own, and the price is still here. And that's because the honey badger doesn't care. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily Fail, sponsored by Pirate Hash. This is some horrible crap. Let's dive into it. Bank of America, and I'm sure all other U.S. banks will follow, as of November 15th, will limit the amount of money you can send via ACH or wire. This is targeted at people who send money to crypto exchanges like Coinbase. The ACH sending and inbound limit is 1K per day, same for wire. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, we are in this space, so we are biased to the space and say it has to do with that. But they're doing this for everyone. So let's be honest. You know, it's not just, sending money to crypto exchanges because, for those of us that have family in other countries and stuff like that, or even, family in the same country, but, using different bank accounts, we use wires and we use ACHs.
I'm going to take another angle at this, Phil.
Yeah.
They know what's coming.
They know exactly what's coming.
The fiat, they cannot stop the inflation, and they do not want people escaping the system. So what they're doing is they're hijacking your ability to spend your money and opt out for a sounder money, and expect this to get even worse. We have the legislation, right? The crypto tax legislation. We have the $600 reporting from the IRS. The fiat money printer government is on its last heels, and they're trying everything in its power to try to maintain the system, to transfer, to do a bait and switch from the fiat system that we have today to the central bank digital currency system that they want to establish. This is absolutely terrifying. Anyways.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. And this is exactly it. So if you really think about it, right, to your point, they are absolutely making it difficult for you to opt out, but at the same time, what they're doing is they're forcing you to keep your money and spend it on crap. Mm-hmm. That's really what they're doing, So
not invest. Not invest.
No. Anyways, total garbage. This is definitely not something, we're talking about. This is supposed to be a government that works for the people, right? The bank is technically supposed to be the custodian of your money. You're not supposed to become the hostage of the bank.
Think about how crazy this is for a second. They're telling you that you can't send your money. Do you understand how absurd that concept is? The money that you bust your ass off working for, slaving away, and they have the audacity, these bureaucrats that have accumulated so much power, to tell you, nah, you can't use your money. This is absurd.
Right? Did you not have to give your time, your value, right, in order to get your money, and yet here it is being held hostage? Anyways,
we told you guys it was going to get worse. We've been telling you this. I'm telling you, we are in war, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. Just giving you a heads up. Best thing that you could do, take your Bitcoin off the exchange and into self-custody. Defund them. Anyways, I'm sorry, Phil. I just get upset when I read that.
No worries. I mean, Jedi, do you have any thoughts? Because before we move on to the next fail.
Yeah, I do. My thoughts is that not your keys, not your cheese in this situation as well. And they're controlling the on ramps quicker than I really thought they were going to, which again, like both of you stated, that's a sign of extreme weakness and fear. So that just makes me more bullish for Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
Totally agreed.
We've been saying this, man. They are freaking terrified, and because they're terrified, like I said, like an animal pushed into a corner, that's when they react the most viciously. Anyways, Phil, what's the next fail?
Yeah, man. Let's dive into it. This one comes to us from I'm gonna pronounce it Nico style, Copper Nixon, but it's really Copernicus' son. Anyways,
no, it's not. It's Copper Nixon, dude. What are you talking about?
Copper Nixon. All right, so here we go. With utter shame, I admit during the bear market, I watched this shitcoiner sometimes. Voices like this kept me holding my remaining bag of ETH far longer than I should have. This is your competition. Thank you for never shitcoining. We appreciate it. Yes, we learned too. Okay, we know exactly what it's like. This is exactly why. When you come from that garbage, you completely understand why it's crap, and there's no mercy. Anyways, who is he talking about? He's talking about Alex Saunders, the guy that's famously known for Nuggets of Turds news. So, what happened? What happened to Nuggets of Turds and Alex's news? Finfluencer or shitfluencer follower wins nearly $500,000 in court over failed investment. Check this out. Look at what's starting to happen to some of these losers. All right, let's dive into it. New Zealand man who followed the investment instructions of Australian celebrity cryptocurrency trader Alex Saunders has obtained a default judgment against the shitfluencer for nearly $500,000. The case in the Supreme Court of Victoria marks the first time in Australia that a follower of a cryptocurrency, I keep calling it that, the follower of a shitcoin influencer has successfully sued the celebrity trader for losses incurred on an investment. That's right. This guy was soliciting people to buy into projects and crap. This is so cringe. Anyways. And like, I remember this guy in 2017. I saw him for not even like 10 minutes. And at least, you know what? I may have been a putz, but I wasn't enough of a putz not to see this. I was like, yeah, no, this guy's a scammer. Anyways, Ziv Himmelfarb launched civil action in the Victorian courts in August, alleging he was enticed by Mr. Saunders to invest in shitcoin funds and development projects over Facebook Messenger. Okay. I have to make a comment. Facebook is the absolute cesspool of shitcoining. Like, people think that Reddit is bad. People think that Twitter is bad. You have no idea the depths of depravity until you've gone onto Facebook and seen shitcoining. It is awful. And the levels of, I'm sorry, but it is like peak levels of stupidity over there. Which is, why I'm sorry to say this, but this is where he's getting his business. Anyways, on Thursday, a default judgment for $491,961 was handed down, which included payments of the investors' losses, interest, and costs. In the Victorian lawsuit, Mr. Himmelfarb alleged that in February and again in April, Mr. Saunders made an offer over Facebook for him to invest in two products. The first offer was to invest in a shitcoin fund, while the second was for an investment in a development project for an as-yet unmade shitcoin. Enticed by the social media offer, Mr. Himmelfarb alleged he transferred Bitcoin's equivalent in the value of $269,600 as part of the first offer, and then transferred $65,200 for the second offer. Mr. Himmelfarb alleged he responded to another investment offer by Mr. Saunders in May and provided a loan to the Tasmanian using shitcoin ETH worth $144,300. Alex has to pay me back my funds plus interest plus legal fees, he said. Okay, that's Mr. Himmelfarb. Furthermore, following my application, the Australian Financial Security Authority has issued a bankruptcy notice, giving Alex 21 days to pay, failing which that's Mr. Himmelfarb, okay, I can then file for his bankruptcy. Mr. Saunders' Twitter account with 121,000 followers went quiet in late July. His Facebook page has also not updated since that date.
Look at that.
And we say goodbye to another scammer. So you guys, for the people that have been following along with the show, you may remember that we dumped on Alex for begging Richard Hart, right? The creator of Shitcoin Hex, for begging him for money a couple months ago. And now we hear this, right? So, look, for people like this, the writing is on the wall. Anybody that is coming to you with some kind of a BS shitcoin project investment, I'm really sorry that they're just looking to take your money. That's all this guy. This guy's a grifter. He's a shitcoin grifter, and I think he's finally almost done. Thoughts?
Look, we get a lot of comments on our videos, and it's very inspirational, and it always says why don't you guys have more subscribers for the content that you guys have, right? And it's very simple. We don't sell hopium. We don't tell you where we think the price of Bitcoin's gonna go. We don't look at charts all day. We don't tell you that you're gonna become a millionaire, right? And while you're at it, Phil, you created a perfect segue. Let me kind of pull up an example of what it is I'm talking about, right? Here's a screenshot from, Heavily Armed Crown, Bearish Bitcoin YouTube TA, right? And then again, this is another person on YouTube that just draws lines and tells you, and look at the comment. We are screwed. We missed the whole 100% uptrend gain since July and 29K listening to him, right? So let me tell you something, guys. No one knows where the price of Bitcoin is going to go, okay? No one has any idea, drawing lines, doing this. These gurus that present themselves as very trustworthy because they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. There's a reason that they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers so fast. And the reason for that is because they're selling hopium. It'd be a lot easier for us to grow our channel significantly faster if in every single title we put, like everyone else, right? This is why Bitcoin's going to hit $5 million. This is why Bitcoin's going to hit $100,000. This next coin is going to make you a millionaire. We focus purely on the signal, and we focus purely on the truth, so that you guys can make your own informed decision on essentially opting out, because that is what Bitcoin provides. The wealth and the money is a secondary effect, but what it truly provides is freedom. And this channel is about the freedom of mankind from the tyranny of central banking. It's not a channel that promises you to make you rich. That's not what this channel is about, right? So again, you have so many of these influencers on Twitter. You see so many of them. You see so many of them on YouTube. All they're selling you is dog shit to get views and to get engagement. They don't know where those coins are going. No one knows where those coins are going. No one knows where the price of Bitcoin is going. We don't know. What we could tell you, though, is the value proposition of Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin does its thing. But have we ever told you we think where the price is going to be in this certain day? No. Nope. We just described to you that the protocol is designed for the number to go up. That's all we say. And what has the protocol been doing, right? So that you could make your own informed decision on what you decide and what not to, what you want to do and what not to do, right? So again, stay away from influencers because they don't have your best interest at heart. All they care about is the views and the engagement so that they can enrich themselves. And potentially, like you showed yesterday, Phil, they get all these celebrities like Kevin Durant, Mark Cuban, Ashton Kutcher to put their faces behind a project, and then all of a sudden, there's another scheme to take away your Bitcoin. Remember, guys, everyone wants your Bitcoin. And if you want to succeed in this industry, it's very easy. All you have to do is dollar cost average, buy Bitcoin, stack sats, stay humble, don't trade, have a long time preference, and I promise you that after a couple years, you're going to be like, I'm so glad I made this decision. And how do we know this? Because Phil and I have both burned our freaking fingers off on the shitcoin stove. So we know this from experience, and we would have much more Bitcoin today if we didn't play the shitcoin casino yesterday. Anyways, what do you think about this, Jedi? Are we crazy? Do we sound like two crazy people?
Just about as crazy as a fox. You know, I'm very familiar with Alex Saunders to start off with the topic. He also, if I'm not mistaken, swindled BitBoy out of at least 5 Bitcoin as well, asking him for a personal loan. And he had been doing this for a long time, at least a year before that. So the fact that I had no idea that Facebook was more of the cesspool for drifter scammers. So I might have to throw some memes down on Facebook. I just don't usually go to that medium.
It's awful.
But, you know, I know it's bad.
I can't believe it still exists. I don't know anyone in my generation that uses Facebook.
So hold on a second. Yeah, there's crypto groups there, man, that have like 500,000 people.
Oh.
Like massive shitcoin trading groups and stuff like that, and it is just it is brutal, man. This like the amount of garbage shitcoins that they're all shilling. It is such crap. It's horrible. Anyways, look, don't get me wrong. That's where I started because I didn't know any better many years ago. And yeah, awful. Sorry, Jedi.
No, it's all right. The next thing I like to talk about a little bit is about the celebrity endorsements we're seeing. You know, you see them come in right away. Hey, tell me about Bitcoin. And it was specifically like what happened with Buster Rhymes recently, where he was in the tweets and, you know, actually, you know, he got great advice, but then, you know, you can tell when the marketing team steps in and he steps out, you know, where he steps back in again, because look, they're not going to not let these people do this stuff. It's part of the machine, you know. He would really have to say no. He's not going to stop revenue coming in. And that's the unfortunate reality, you know. And so what we just have to do is step in, make dank memes that actually penetrate the spaces so that people notice what's happening. Because you can write paragraphs upon paragraphs and tell people tweet after tweet about how things are, but a meme, you know, speaks 1,000 words. So,
yes, it does.
And conveys emotion in a way that nothing else can. So working Ming magic, you know.
Absolutely. We've been saying this from the get-go, the first episode that we had the meme lords on here. You know, you guys are the vanguard. You know, if tweets are bullets in this information war, the memes are frickin' artillery. Yeah, man, I completely agree. And it's such an effective medium just to get a very short and sweet point across, to the point that it triggers the other side, and that's when you're over the target. Completely agree. But anyways, Phil, that being said, it's time for
the Daily Meme Review, sponsored by
Citadel 21. All right, everybody, check it out. First meme for the meme review is brought to us by the legendary Spinte. And check it out. Bitcoin brings satisfaction. This is Ray looking at a lightsaber. I know, it's a lightsaber, guys, okay?
You're sure? Okay, it's a lightsaber.
No, it's a green candle. It's definitely a green candle. So he's got the laser eyes. Before, it was a lightsaber, But then I saw laser eyes. Definitely green candle. Awesome meme by Spinte. Let's talk about the next one. Brought to us by Markets by Lily. Bitcoiners, miners, Burr. Real estate has the best ROI. The ASICs and Micron. I love this template, dude. It never gets old.
Yeah.
The cat. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, excellent meme. The next one is brought to us by our friends at Bitcoin Magazine. Traditional meme. 61,000 is the next victim. I think we already slayed that victim.
It already happened, yeah.
They gotta move on. They gotta move on. But I think to give them credit, this came out. That came out, I think, earlier this morning. Anyways,
yeah, before.
That meme by Spinte was hilarious, and then I always loved that cat one. But it wasn't like, it was an average meme day. But still, I'm gonna give it the birthday present that you gave me, Phil. This Bitcoin wooden magnet thing that I put on my fridge. Oh. It's a honey badger. Boom. It's the honey badger.
That's very cool.
Very well done.
What about you, Phil? What would you give that meme?
Very well done. Well, you know what? I obviously love those memes. Spinte always gets me laughing. And you know what? Something I haven't used in a long time for a score, which I think is appropriate. We're going to go with the watermelon. The watermelon.
Classic score. You can never go wrong.
Come on. You can't beat a watermelon. It's a hot day. It's a drink. It's a drink.
Have you seen the square watermelons that they make in Japan?
I have.
Dude.
That's weird.
And they're like $3,000.
That's even weirder.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
Square watermelons. I'm going to pop it up so you guys be like, what the F? Anyways.
Most of it comes out as P anyways.
Jedi. Square yes. P. Jedi, what would you give those memes?
The first one, an 8. Lily's would be a 6, and Bitcoin Magazine a 5.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, number scores.
We're going back to the roots, Phil.
Numbers.
I like
it.
I like it. Okay.
We started with numbers. We started with numbers.
I like it. Good.
Like that.
Good. Okay. Good scores. Anyways, guys, do you agree with our scores? Do you disagree? Let us know down in the comments. And of course, join our Telegram group and link us some Bitcoin memes to review. Because it's a Bitcoin meme review. And we review memes. Because it's a Bitcoin meme review. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by
Cloaks.
Presidents of both parties have run up the debt irresponsibly with no plan to address it. So thank God for Bitcoin and other non-fiat currencies that transcends the irresponsibility of governments, including our own. That is an indictment of our responsibility. Democrats and Republicans, presidents and Congress, our responsibility to address this looming, predictable, massive
Getting the goosebumps, dude.
Holy crap. I didn't watch that video. I didn't watch that video until the show. Oh my god. She said that? Holy crap, Phil.
Yep.
She said that on the Senate floor. This is what happens when you take the orange pill. This is what happens.
Just straight up. Just, that's it, Thank God for
Wow.
Bitcoin.
Holy
Jedi.
crap.
Yeah, this is she's standing up and being the powerful senator that we need her to be right now. So I hope, it sounds like she's spreading the knowledge right now. She's making sure everybody understands this.
Dude, thank God for Bitcoin, because the dollar is a shit coin. Oh my God, dude.
Wow.
Holy crap, dude. Oh my God. I literally didn't watch that video so that, you guys would get a genuine reaction to like this and like whatever. But I never thought it was going to be that crazy. But like,
I'm kind of in shock too.
She dropped the mic. She went at it 100%. Wow. Okay. Shout out Cynthia Loomis.
It's like Twitter.
Like,
she just went in there, she shot on them, and like that was it.
She dropped a bomb. Holy crap. Anyways, moving on.
She has to been spending some time in Twitter Spaces in an Anon account.
She took the orange pill, dude. That's what you take the orange pill. That's literally what happens. Yeah. Anyways, okay, guys, the big news for today. We kind of covered this a little bit yesterday. It is kind of a big deal. I did some research because this isn't my strong suit. But anyways, check out this headline from CNBC. Bitcoin ETFs may finally make their debut to the trading public next week. And guess what? That actually happened. A Bitcoin ETF has been officially approved, and that ETF is the Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF. And the person who is the CEO of Valkyrie Funds, shout out Leah Wald. I think it's a big accomplishment. This thing we've been trying as a community to make Bitcoin an ETF for the last 10 years. Now, does this matter to plebs? No, it does not matter to plebs. It really matters for institutions that are looking to get exposure to Bitcoin. Now, this is crazy, and again, I did a little bit of research, so I apologize, guys. I'm going to read off a little bit off my notes. Look, quarter 2, 2020, they printed trillions of dollars, and the ETF is being approved literally right before the halving, right? So you have all these institutional investors looking at the government printing trillions, and they're looking for safe havens, right? And guess what? Now there's a Bitcoin ETF as a safe haven. And you also have to understand, guys, that approximately 85% of Bitcoin's circulating supply has not moved in the last 90 days. That means that it's an extremely illiquid market. That means that when these institutions want to start buying Bitcoin, guess what? There's no Bitcoin to buy. And what happens to the price when that happens? Obviously, it tends to go up, right? And in the ideal situation. And to add a cherry on top, you add to the fact that we are still, they just announced yesterday that we are pushing 5% inflation, So again, it's literally the perfect storm at the perfect time of a Bitcoin being approved in this situation, in this stage of the bull market. It's like all the planets have aligned. Crazy, crazy stuff. However, to be fair, there is a downside to the Bitcoin ETFs. Again, not really well educated on the matter. But Caitlin Long wrote an excellent article titled, "Is Financialization a Double-Edged Sword for Bitcoin and Shitcoins?" And Corey highlighted, I think, the most important part of the article, right? Or I think this was actually from his newsletter. He says, which I definitely recommend you subscribing, by the way, says, P.S. Futures-based commodity ETFs are mostly for traders, not long-term holders. These products will suffer from contango bleed, essentially selling low and buying high as they roll over the futures contracts from one period to the next. Experts estimate underperformance of these funds at 5-10% annually versus buying real Bitcoin. That means that if these future contracts don't perform well, there will be sell pressure on top of Bitcoin, on top of the sell pressure from the miners that have to pay for electricity costs, right? So again, it's a double-edged sword, and anybody who's really buying a Bitcoin ETF, like was stated, is not really buying it for long-term gain. They're not buying it for the revolution. They're not buying it to opt out. They're buying it because they think they can make a quick buck trading it. So is this good news? I don't know. Like we said yesterday, we're just plebs. I frankly don't. I'm going to say I don't give two fucks that Bitcoin has an ETF. It might pump the price, but at the same time, it gets Wall Street involved, right? So, and Wall Street doesn't really have a good track record. So, I don't know, Phil. What are your thoughts on this?
So, look, I'm obviously, I have the same stance as you. I couldn't care less. I understand that short term and for public perception, that seems to be a good thing. But really, it's not bringing more hodlers. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's that this is just people holding paper. The paper's being controlled by the same institutions which caused the problems to begin with. I don't know. I don't really look. I don't really care. I don't think in the long run does Bitcoin need this. No. It really doesn't. So yeah, I mean, it's short-term positive noise. I guess we'll call it that, right? I know that some people like to idolize these institutions and prop them up on pedestals and pretend like they're so important and what they do matters and blah blah blah. All right, fine, I get it. But to your point, it's like the person that's buying the ETF, they're not here for the revolution. They're not really here because they want to change the monetary system, that we've all been slaves to.
They're working within the monetary system. Of course. You're
right? Not going to beat it from within. You're just not going to.
So look, and guys, like I'm sure that you've heard or seen all the other YouTube channels, Twitter celebrating, oh my God, Bitcoin ETF, this and that, like. This doesn't really help the cause at all. None of these people that are buying this are hodling Bitcoin. If you want the revolution to succeed, which in game theory it will, right? You want as much people opting out of the legacy financial system. That's what you want, and an ETF is not going to allow that. So
it's just a trick. It's just a trick.
So it might help with the price short term, again, which is why we don't talk about the price. But again,
that's what it is, Nico. It's a trick, right? All of a sudden, everybody's getting all excited. It's a perfect trick. Look, now you don't have to buy Bitcoin. Now you could stay in the system and still have exposure. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's such a scam. Anyways, Jedi mind tricks. Play some Jedi mind tricks on us, bro.
Yeah, well, it's definitely it's so convoluted, and adding in paper ETF Bitcoin has no interest. I have no interest in it. Everybody's touting the fact that there's $1 trillion waiting to move into Bitcoin, and I really am. Like you guys, the hodlers don't really care about that, right? This is just going to make it, like you said, a lot of sell pressure at times when we might not expect it, and then just knocking around, just having a more of an effect on actually like newbies coming into the space and experience volatility. Even more in a more manipulated way, and just washing them out of the entire space, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm not about that.
What also worries me, and Catelyn Long has touched upon this many times, is this idea of rehypothecation, right? Where the Bitcoin gets sent to these institutional custodians. And just like the gold market, they never leave. It stays within that system. So, like, think about it. They create more paper Bitcoin than actual Bitcoin in existence, right? And there's really, again, kind of like the gold market, really, you would need to essentially, institution would need to take self-custody, really, to kind of, kind of have a check on that, right? But do you see these big institutions really doing that? No, because again, it's like we've been saying, they're not really in it for the revolution. They're in it for the short-term gains. Obviously, they can't ignore their NGU technology. They don't want to miss the boat. Wall Street wants its pound of flesh, right? So again, I'm going to take Phil's approach. I'm going to be cautiously, not optimistic, I'm going to be cautiously pessimistic on this. Short-term price may pump. Long-term, I would rather want Bitcoin in the hands of hodlers. But anyways, Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. All right, everyone. We've got bluewallet version 6.2.10 that was released. That is a Bitcoin and Lightning wallet. Check it out down below in the show notes.
All right, guys. Thank you, Phil. That was our show. Before we go, get your tickets to Bitcoin 2022. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference ever. Meet the plebs in Meet Space. And there's a link down below for 10% off Bitcoin 2022. Check out Citadel 21 for pure pleb signal written by plebs for plebs. Get yourself a physical copy. There's only 1,000 made. And of course, check out Cloaks for the best 3D printed Bitcoin merch, like a 3D printed honey badger, a Bitcoin grenade, and there's a link down below that gives you 5% off anything on the store. Check out cryptocloaks.com. Check out Pirate Hash for some awesome Bitcoin trinkets, like this Bitcoin board game. That's awesome. A Bitcoin board game, like Monopoly, but with Bitcoin. It's better. And of course, it's made by the guy that did the UI for BIS. Check out piratehash.com. Also, check out our awesome guest. He's going to come back. He is part of a new meme group. They're called the Triple Elite Memes. They're gonna be back, and we're gonna do a meme special like we did with the Meme Lords, like we did with the Meme Tards. We're gonna do it for the Triple Elite Memes. You can follow him at Bitcoin Jedi 101. Anyways, guys, that was our show. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. I'm fucking exhausted. And if you want to continue hearing the Bitcoin news from the pleb perspective, definitely consider subscribing. And the catastrophic fails from, I don't know what to say, Phil. The central bankers definitely. We'll see you Monday, guys, for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.
Don't get tricked by the central bankers.